Hey there, Atlanta. This and the rest of the nation. This is a real Sean Irish coming at you on a pretty cool, nice Atlanta evening. We finally dropped below 90. I think we're in the 80s now. The sun's going down. Everything's groovy. I just there's a little mosquito there I got to deal with, but I just wanted to give you the update on this is called the John Lewis real estate July 4th plans, Democrat, what are they up to update. And let me just say, a couple of years ago, I live over here near the West End in Atlanta. The West End Mall, you know, is a great place for everybody to ball up and roll around. And, you know, there's a few decent stores in there and stuff, but it's kind of a hangout. You run around the outside and you wonder how is it still standing, because it's just, the area is so depressed. And we've covered that in some of the earlier videos 30 years of withholding economic resources and federal funds from the west side of Atlanta can accomplish that. And I got you know, who's been our congressman here? It's John Lewis. Congressman John Lewis, who will tell you at every turn of the screw about his civil rights record, but he won't mention his record of the lackadaisical record of bringing federal funds in to do anything here on the west side, like development, because the west side's been dropping like it's hot for 30 years for John Lewis's entire tenure, which makes me call him, you know, the real estate candidate. He must be working for real estate moguls. I can't understand it otherwise. You know, it's what's wrong. Maybe it's my understanding of the whole thing, but real estate values here have been going nowhere for 30 years, except down. And that includes West End Mall. And that's a huge piece of property. It's huge. It's right near I-20. It's near the exchanges, not far from the exchanges of 85 and 75. It's a masterful chunk of real estate. And what did the city of Atlanta do a couple of years ago? They came in and they rebuilt the streets, right? They didn't just rebuild the sidewalks. They didn't just rework the streets. You know, there was some needed infrastructure things, you know, like drainage and all that sort of stuff too. But they came in. I'll show you photographs of it later. I'll put some links. They came in and put in cobblestone. What's a cobblestone but a series of individual bricks? Now, St. Louis a few years ago, you know, we had the riots in St. Louis a couple of years ago because somebody was shot there, and there was all sorts of stuff going on, and there was police brutality, and then the rioters were shot at, and all that other stuff, you know, all that drama. But it turns out that an area that was slated for renewal got rioted into renewal. And, you know, what do you need to have a really good riot? You need bricks. What is a cobblestone street, cobblestone sidewalk, except a series of bricks? Once you get the first brick out, all the rest come out. Super easy. It makes for easy rioting. And, you know, I'm not saying that's what's going on, but I noticed it right away that the Democrats in this city, the city Democrats and or the people who got the funding, the state funding and the federal funding to do this project over near West End Mall, which is prime real estate in any other section of this town, put in nothing but cobblestones on the sidewalks, on the street crossings. There is a ready-made source of bricks for rioting all over the West End, you know, right near West End Station, you know, the MARTA station. Of course, it probably won't hit the MARTA station so much because it's elevated and they can kind of control access, and MARTA cops are pretty astute. But West End's wide open. All the stores, what's left of them, because they keep running in and running out unless you're a phone store or something else, or, you know, you got some little side gig going on. I don't know how you can keep a store going in West End. And then there's West End Mall, which is depressed real estate. Those stores in there keep going. But again, I don't know how, man. This is such a depressed area. I just don't know how they can do it, you know. It's set up for a prime real estate takeover. Let's talk to John Lewis about this. Say, hey, John, what's going on? It's been 30 years. Why did y'all redo the streets and put in a bunch of riot bricks? Oh, excuse me. It's called cobblestone. A couple of years back, you spent a lot of money. You know, that created a lot of jobs. I'm all for the jobs and the spending, but why didn't it really transform the neighborhood? Nothing happened as far as transforming the neighborhood. It's still as depressed as it ever was. I mean, there's drugs and hoes and you name it right down there, and they're slinging it right and left right out of West End Mall. So I think West End Mall is slated for demolition, and I think the method is going to be a riot. And I think the city of Atlanta is going to stand back and let it happen. And I think John Lewis has been all about this for the last few years. I mean, I don't know. I'm just speculating here. It's my mind turning on these things that I notice that are happening in the ghetto that don't seem to be happening anywhere else. They just don't really seem to be happening anywhere else. But there's a ready supply of riot bricks here. And that's due to the efforts of Atlanta City Council and probably Congressman John Lewis. But you didn't hear that from me. Anyway, this is Real Sean Irish in the ATL signing out. That's the Real Estate Report, July 4th. Look out.